For this first exercise, we're going to rewrite the question and answer program from the last chapter where we asked the user what was the name of the computer that played on Jeopardy. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is create a string variable that stores the answer to the question, and that answer is Watson. Then we're going to create a string variable to store the user's response after we ask them the question. Then, because we're only giving them 3 tries, we need a variable to store the number of tries. So we'll have that variable next. Now we begin the loop. So we're going to say while tries is less than or equal to 3. Then we prompt the user, name the computer that played on Jeopardy. Response equals console read line. Now we have an if statement. If response equals answer, console write line, that's right. And right here we're going to have a break because we don't need to continue. This is a situation where a break is perfectly acceptable because we don't need to keep trying. The user got the answer correctly and we're ready to stop the program. However, if they didn't get it right and the number of tries is less than 3, then we want to prompt the user, sorry, try again. And then to close off the loop, we need to increment tries by 1 so that our loop will eventually stop. Then at the end of the program, we check to see if the user never answered the question correctly. And if so, we say, sorry, the answer is Watson. And that's the whole program. So from the previous program that we wrote that did this, notice how we've saved quite a bit of space, made the program much easier to read. We don't need a lot of nested if statements. We just need one if-else if inside the loop and then another one at the end. But this program is so much easier to read and a little bit shorter also. So let's test it a little bit. So let's get it right the first time and get that out of the way. So there we go. So now let's try it again. Well, let's say Deep Blue. That's the chess playing program. Sorry, try again. Let's try ENIAC. Sorry, try again. Well, let's just say Bob. Sorry, the answer is Watson. Let's get it right on the second try this time. So we'll say Deep Blue. Sorry, try again. And then we'll say Watson. That's right. So that's a way to write the question answer program that used nested if statements using a loop. Now we can also write this program using a for loop. So let me show you how to do that real quick. All we need is to replace the while loop. So we'll comment that code out. We'll drop down here right below it and we'll say for int tries equals 1, tries less than equal to 3. I'll tell you what, let's do it less than 4. Doesn't really matter though. Plus plus tries, console write. Oh, I see. We're getting the error because tries has already been declared, so I just need to comment it out up there. That fixes that problem. Console write, name the computer that played on Jeopardy. Response equals console read line. And we can actually copy this code right here as is. We'll have to get the comments out, but that's easier than typing it back in again right here. All we got to do is come through here and remove the comments. Close the for loop right here. And everything looks in place. Let's give it a shot. Let's get all 3 attempts wrong. Deep Blue, ENIAC, Bob. There we go. Let's get it right in 2. Deep Blue, Watson. And that's probably good enough to test. So we have 2 different ways to write this program using either a while loop or a for loop. And we also demonstrate in both loops how the break statement can be used to make your program a little bit easier to write, and it's certainly understandable. One of the critiques of the break statement is that it makes your programs harder to understand. But I don't see any problem with following this program using the break statement, and it's definitely the easiest way to write this code. So that's about it for this exercise. Let's move to exercise 2 of this chapter where we rewrite the calculator program that we wrote in the last chapter using a loop.